Hello world, it's me, Fandroid, the musical robot, and this probably looks a little bit random to you, but this is actually the first ever depiction of Fandroid that I made on Scratch. Now, I made this nearly a year ago, and I'll be posting videos with this style of Fandroid until February 13th, which is when I made this project, talk videos, because that's the same day that I made these type of sprites. Now, you can clearly see that Fandroid here looks quite different. He has completely different altered colors. His shape is different, the head is different, the top of the headphones are different, his eyes are different, the mouth is different, the shape of the bow tie is different. Basically, everything is different. But we're going to be talking about something else. We're going to be talking about failure is a part of success. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that to succeed, you need to fail. Or most of the time, to succeed, you're going to at least fail once or twice. Now, to use myself as an example, I guess I can say my TikTok was kind of a failure in the end. Because I want to get a lot bigger on there than I actually ended up being. Which is kind of sad for me. And the place I live in, TikTok is going to be banned. I don't actually think that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't really like using TikTok that much anymore. But I'm sorry for the people that do actually like using it. Hope they can somehow get it back. But that isn't... but I don't know how you personally think of it. And yes, that's how it used to look like. Anyway, to succeed, you need to fail. Failure is a part of life in general. It doesn't matter how hard you try to escape it, you're gonna fail at least once or twice in your life. And who knows, and again, using myself as another example, who knows where my channel may go in the future. I don't know if I'm going to succeed with this channel or if I'm going to start a completely new one and get double the success in like half the time that it took to get this amount of success on this channel. It's really up to me to decide what I do. Though, I don't plan on leaving this channel, at least for quite a little while, because I've been consistently uploading on it, and making all the sprites and all this stuff would have been just kind of a huge waste of time on my part. But, you know. Now, the thing is that you can also use failure, not even just in YouTube, but in basically in life in general. For example, imagine you fail a math test, for say. Let's say you fail a math test. Now, you wanted to succeed. That was your goal. You wanted to succeed. You wanted to complete that math test. You wanted to do really good on it. Because you don't want to have a bad grade. But you didn't. But if you never really failed, if you didn't fail, who knows what could have happened to you down the line. Maybe if you didn't study hard enough for that next test, if you didn't try hard enough to study for it, who knows? Maybe things would have been a lot worse for you in the end, in school specifically. Failure can truly change a person, too. Someone that's always happy can be completely messed up by failure if it happens to them enough. I mean, to use something that is kind of fits into this, Mouse.avi. I know this is a cartoon mouse character, but listen, just hear me out on this. The entire thing that happened to him was he lost his wife, he lost his friends, he lost everyone important to him in his life, even his dog, to his worst enemy, which is of course really sad, but that's failure. That's failure. It's sadly gonna happen. Most of the time, it's not gonna be as extreme as what Mouse.avi had to experience, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen, and it has happened to people before. Now, most of the time, sadly, people can unalive themselves to something like this. I mean, that's what Mousa ABI does. I can't say his full name because YouTube will maybe strike me down. I don't know what they're going to do to me. But I'm not going to say his full name. I'm just going to say Mousa ABI. But you know the full name. Now, he unalived himself, yes. But that doesn't mean if a failure or something as terrible as that happened to you, that doesn't mean you need to do the same. You can bounce back. It won't be very easy. I know it won't. I haven't been through it. I haven't been through something like that, but even then, I know that you can bounce back from it. It will be very difficult. It would be incredibly difficult to bounce back from. But if you decided to take things calmly, one thing at a time, first, your friends, try to reach out to more people. Maybe talk to a therapist if you really need to. Talk to your family members. It would be hard for you to do something like this for most people, but I promise you, if you just do it, you'll feel great in the end. Again, it's very hard to do something like that, but if you put the effort into doing it, in the end, you'll feel far better than you could have ever done if you decide to unalive yourself or live in your sadness. Now, a small minor mistake could be something, a small bit of failure is wanting to get a 100% on, let's say, another school thing, let's say a quiz. You want to get 100% on the quiz, and you get 95. Now that's failure, technically. That's just a fail. That's just failure in terms, you didn't get the 100%. You got your 95%, but you didn't get your 100%. Now compare that to what compare that to the explanation that I did before of the whole Mousa AVI thing. That is far easier to bounce back from than something like what Mousa AVI has gone through. But just like that, but just like before, that doesn't mean it's impossible. If you put the effort into, if you take things calmly, one thing at a time, in the end, you can turn that failure into a success. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you're able to turn that failure into a way to teach people, possibly. Teach people what to do when they fail at something in life that they didn't want to fail at. They didn't want to fail at it, but they did. But you can tell them your story, and maybe they'll feel more motivated because you dealt with something far worse, and you managed to bounce back from it by taking it calmly and one step at a time. I just think that's something really good that you can do, especially for a new friend or something like that, or a family member for that matter. But again, you need failure to succeed in life. Failure is a part of life. Failure is a part of success. And failure is something that we all have to live with. Goodbye and good luck.